So welcome to a new video, and as you can see we've got off the mark quite quickly. Beautiful little dark common. I'm going to tell you all about it after I've slipped her back. So as you can see I'm back out stalking again, and I'm back on Southwick Park. It's been a while since I've been here, but I've just got my membership back again, and I've been for one walk around a few days ago, and now I'm back for an evening stalking. And it started pretty well. The early swims down by the dam end are closed off at the moment because there's some building works that are going on down that end. So I was a little bit disappointed at first that those are the productive swims that I've had a lot of success in the past. But the opposite end, where the stream runs in and there's a bridge and there's a narrow channel, it's not something that I've explored much in the past, and I've kind of been forced into it, and found one quite quickly and caught it. So that was a good start. There's a few likely looking spots along here, so I'm gonna introduce a few bits of pellet and just visit the spots and see if I can see anything feeding. I think that's going to be the order of the day. I might put a few dog biscuits out as well, but we'll see how it pans out. There you go. Small mirror this time. Just wandered up there with a rod. Didn't take the camera with me, unfortunately, so I didn't capture it, but just saw some bubbles coming up underneath a tree, and I had a little bit of bread squeezed onto the hook, so I just let it flutter down. Practically, as soon as it hit the bottom, the rod tip twitched, and we were in. What a lovely fish that is. Well pleased with that. There's two fish in about half an hour. Let's get you back, eh? Let's get him back. What a lovely afternoon. So right now I'm sussing things out. Down by the bridge there are definitely some carp, but it's difficult fishing for them down there because there's no swims. So I've come to the first swim downstream towards the lake, and there's a bit of an overhanging tree, so I've put some pellets underneath there. Now it's only about 5 metres away from where the fish were feeding before, so I think they'll find it. But as yet there's no bubbles coming up. But I did see a carp over on the far bank, so I've put some dog biscuits over on the far bank as well, just to trickle a few in without overloading it, just to see if they could. So I've got a couple of options. I can fish with a float underneath this tree on my inside margin, or I can put a floater over on the far bank. Bit of a waiting game at the moment. So the channel went really quiet. I've moved from there now. I had a couple of fish take on the far bank, but they were small fish and they soon disappeared. And the only thing I could get on the 3-line bread over the pellet was small fish, roach and stuff. So I've moved up now to the mouth of the channel where it starts to go a bit wider and becomes the main lake. And there's definitely fish here. Over on the shallows I can see bubbles coming up, I can see some cloudy water. But the pellets that I've put in the margin and the dog biscuits that I've been putting out into the main lake haven't been touched. I haven't cast while I've been here, I've just been feeding and watching. I'm not in any rush. I've had a couple of fish early, takes the pressure off, now I can relax and enjoy the session. Watching a great crested grebe over there on its nest. And I think once we head in towards evening, those last couple of hours of the day, I might get a chance on the surface. But I'm going to wander along this bank and have a look. The water's very coloured. It's very difficult to spot any fish unless they're right on the top. But I'm going to keep plugging away, see if we can get another one. So I'm licking my wounds a little bit at the moment. I buggered a chance up. Just off this little platform. I've had some success here in the past and I've put some pellets down really close in the margins and I've scattered a few dog biscuits along quite close in, you know, no further than a rod length out, and what looked like a decent fish come up and started taking a few. And didn't have the net set up, so I set the net up, looked up, and he was still taking. I put an handful out there just to top him up, and he took those as well. So I put 2 dog biscuits on the hook and I flicked it out and he took them and I pulled it out of his mouth. Happens so many times. I just think sometimes they haven't got their mouth closed properly. You just pull it back out again. And I haven't seen him come back since. I have had one fish feeding on the bait down there, down on the pellets that I put down close in the margins. Saw his tail waving, dropped a bit of bread down, but didn't take it. And then he went, I think he felt the line and he spooked off a little bit. Didn't bolt off, but he went and kicked up a little bit of silt. So I've got some more dog biscuits down, I put some more pellets down. I've put some pellets down just up by the boathouse as well, close in the margins. I'm just going to keep an eye on these spots now. It's getting on to that time of the evening. Yeah, it's 5:45. Probably got a couple of hours. Probably got until about 8 o'clock, I reckon. So I think I'm going to stick it out here. There's a snag tree, probably about 20 yards that way. And I think it holds a few fish, and I think that's why this area, and especially this margin, seems to hold a few fish. And they come out and have a little bit of a mooch. Fingers crossed. Well, it was looking dodgy. There was one or two fish half-heartedly coming up having a little go, but it looked like it wasn't going to happen. But I saw this one a couple of times come up and then disappear again, and then come up and then disappear again, and eventually he stayed and had a bit of a munch. Managed to drop a couple of dog biscuits on his nose, and he took it. Beautiful. That's not a bad fish either. Happy with that. Happy with that to end on, I think. It's been a lovely afternoon at a lovely place. It has tormented me a bit, but we've got a reward eventually. Yeah, chuff with that. So guys, tight lines, and I'll see you in the next one. That's a lovely fish, that is. That's a lovely fish. You're a lovely fish, you are.